The patch notes for the start of MultiVersus Season 1 has officially dropped, and I wanted to bring it all to you guys ASAP. There are some really good changes and additions in here, and a lot of feedback was taken in from the devs over how things should work from the community, which is a great sign of things to come, mainly quality of life stuff. Hit that like button if you got your main buffed, or if that character that's been giving you hemorrhoids got nerfed. Let's get this video to over 5,000 likes to celebrate the official start of MultiVersus Season 1. And to stay up to date on all the MultiVersus news, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Only 9% of you guys who watch and love the videos are currently subscribed. Let's fix that and raise the number even higher as we're climbing to 100,000 subscribers. We're so close to 100k. I cannot thank you all enough for the support. I'm constantly striving to be the best when it comes to MultiVersus content and just being a content creator overall. You don't want to be anywhere else. The PS5 giveaway winner will be chosen on August 16th live here on the channel. It's for members and Twitch subscribers only, guys. So make sure you're tuned in so you can see if you win. Now, with that being said, let's get into this video. This patch has two parts to it. This is the first part coming August 15th, and the follow-up patch with more changes will be coming Wednesday, August 17th. As Tony stated previously and told us casually on Twitter, we have two patches coming this week. The free rotation is being updated, so get ready for players to start complaining about Arya, Batman, Lebron, and Steven. No, I'm just kidding. These are great characters you don't see many playing, so it will be cool to see how the meta for these characters will develop this week. Free rotation characters now will have an icon in character select so you can identify them and see if you currently own them or not. This was a community requested fix from the last patch, and it's a great one to see. Many general perks receive some changes. This in itself can be viewed as buffs or nerfs to certain characters, an interesting part of the meta to pay attention to. Like in MOBA games like League of Legends or Smite, when certain items are changed, it can really help out many characters all at once, or it can nerf them. So this has to be taken very delicately over time, and I can't wait to see what new perks they may add to the game to spice up the meta. Clear the Air had its consistency increase. It still is inconsistent on Velma's speech bubbles or Batman's batarangs, so they will be addressing this in the future. Make It Reindog will now count towards thrown items too. Painted Target fixed an issue where projectiles were not applying bonus damage. Retaliation Ready got a reduction to unstacked Grey Health from 3 HP for 3 seconds to 1 HP for 3 seconds, and reduced stacked Grey Health from 4 HP for 3 seconds to 2 HP for 3 seconds. It seems like a minimal tweak, but this will help against those Iron Giant meta teams. It's unsure how big of a change this can be, but it's something to monitor. School Me Once increased its consistency on projectile block spawn. Getting hit by Jerry will not cause a projectile block buff, which is a bit disappointing because Jerry can be kind of crazy sometimes when it comes to how fast Tom can actually launch him. We haven't gotten to Tom's changes yet, so this maybe got balanced out, but we'll see. Jerry is considered a heavy projectile in the game, and all projectiles in the game are currently being reworked for the future, as stated by Tony and the development team, so monitoring this for the future. Snowball Effect had a projectile issue fixed for its damage, and Static Electricity got its projectile counting fixed as well too. You know, and I just realized static electricity is a thing. So yeah, Static Shock most definitely will be coming to this game in the future, I feel like. I don't know why I didn't see that before. Overall, all of these changes benefit projectiles and is the first step in Player First Games' system to reworking how projectiles work for the future. In gameplay system, Ice Debuff now slows at 1 stack for 15% instead of 20% before, and this is a nerf. And they fixed the cooldown bug where Jake's allies would cause teammates to lose their moves cooldowns when used near him. This is a straight up fix for the toxic Velma bug that we've been seeing with her and Jake teams. Another quality of life player recommended fix is for the announcer pack. We can now preview announcer voices before spending money to unlock it. Great change, and also various bugs for the tutorials have been fixed. So now many of you guys can actually finish the knockback influence tutorial instead of having to glitch it with the print screen button on PC or the PlayStation and Xbox buttons on console. Now for the big ones you all have been waiting for, character buffs, and we're going to be going in alphabetical order, starting with Arya. Their goal was to make Arya's combos more consistent and successful at lower skill levels. Air and Ground Up Special will now accurately launch enemies at an angle to allow for easier follow-ups for Arya. Air Up Attack first hit will now accurately combo into the second hit. This was a big problem for Arya mains missing easy kill confirms. Neutral Air Attack now has a earlier branching on hit, and Ground Side Attack Arya will now keep her velocity on the first hit. Ground Down Attack now has slightly earlier dodge branching. Branching, by the way, means cancelability. Air, Ground, and Neutral Special fixed many bugs where Arya would not copy over hitboxes on her normal neutral attacks when stealing a fighter's face, and various other hurtbox to hitbox fixes too. And remember, the big hurtbox and hitbox fix will be coming in the future, so look forward to that. Up next is Batman. Finally, the grapple has officially been fixed. This is now going to work properly because this update is part of a client update. The previous fixes would not work because they were just hot fixes. So Batman players rejoice for a little bit, because he did receive some nerfs. Ground side attack got 3 frames of whiff recovery if you miss, which gives opponents chances to stuff out his at times overwhelming offense. Air and ground neutral attack has a patch coming on Wednesday where Batarang pickups will now return 9.45 seconds of its cooldown, down from 11.55 seconds. This will create a larger window between how often Batman can use the Batarangs and how opponents can now have opportunities to counter him better. Batman's pressure was insane and it still will be. Now he just has a bit more downtime in between Batarang uses. This seems to be something that they will be tweaking a lot over time because the last patch did also nerf his Batarangs too. And for a big one, Bugs Bunny. Nerfs and bug fixes all around. Air up special and air side special fixed the rocket glitch where Bugs could spawn 2 rockets, which was not intended. Air ground neutral special fixed an exploit where Bugs could spawn multiple saves without triggering his cooldown. Save got a HP nerf too from 16 health down to 14, so enemies can break it easier. Air down special also got a fix where Bugs' previous tunnels would remain on screen. Air up attack now has 4 frames of whiff recovery, meaning Bugs can be punished a little easier when using this now. It's still one of the best moves in the game and still remains a solid one, you just can't throw it out now without repercussions anymore. This move will get another nerf in the future once the hitbox patches come in, which will be during the next patch possible towards the end of August or beginning of September. Air side attack, which is Bugs' dropkick, now has 5 more whiff recovery frames, so Bugs players can be punished for missing this move, and the same goes for neutral special as well. Ground down attack, Pi now has a lifetime of 8 seconds. Previously it was infinite and Pi no longer applies slow debuff to enemies. Bugs is still a fun character, however he is a little less brain dead on certain moves and can be punished using certain things. I applaud the changes but expect more to come when hitboxes are eventually fixed, as well as a projectile overhaul. And now Finn. Fighting against Finns felt too difficult. I know, we talked about this a lot guys, because Finn was a bit too safe to be punished. Hurt and hitbox fixes are coming soon, so look forward to that also tweaking Finn in the future. Attack decay moves no longer spawn coins. Finn starts off every life at 100 coins now instead of 200. Air down special received a buff and fixed an issue where the gem required 200 gold to spawn but only costed 100. Air side special now has additional whiff recoveries. Boys and girls, get ready for the big one. Ground and air up special, the Man-Purse Mayhem, got its vacuum effect toned down on the backpack. Weaker hits of the backpack will no longer overwrite stronger attacks. If this move whiffs, you will lose coins now, and it has more whiff recovery and the hitboxes should better match the attack. This won't be perfect until the hurtbox and hitboxes are fixed of course, but this is a big one as the move was running rampant on everyone. Now Finns can't just throw it out without any consequences, and you have to calculate your approaches better and be a little bit more strategic, which is awesome. Air side attack reduced its active frames to diminish Finn's ability to hit fighters behind him. Yes, thank you. More of this is expected for every player in the future. Ground down attack now scales to how far Finn players have held the attack down for, and ground side attack has increased whiff recovery on the first hit. And the on the house perk received a buff, fixing an issue where Finn still spent gold on gems spawned by the perk. And now for Garnet. Air and ground neutral special song activation starts earlier on frame 12 instead of frame 30. That's actually pretty big. Air ground and down special fixed the bug where Garnet could be stopped by Iron Giant's collision when she moves with her down special. And air neutral attack received higher knockback kill potential. If you are a Garnet main, comment below if these changes help you out big time, or if you want other fixes, please I want to hear what you guys have to say. Harley Quinn got a fix for her stuffy bat. The bomb effects will better match the explosion radius, and her weight was increased from 42 to 44, so she will live slightly longer now. Harley mains, are you guys okay? Iron Giant got a lot of changes. Video effects now better match Iron Giant's size globally for buffs, like Speed Boost buff or Steven's Bubble debuff. Air Ground Special fixed an issue where effect trails would persist and fill up the screen. He can no longer air Cannonball attack when out of air specials. The knockback angle has also been changed to send fighters horizontally away from Iron Giant and fixed issues that allowed to infinitely bounce enemies on the ground. Great Health in ground and air neutral special had its activation reduced from 2+ BltzZ HP for 5 seconds to BltzZ HP for 3 seconds. I think this just means 1 bolt, but I'm not sure if that's accurate or an error on their part for the patch notes. Ground forward special got a bug fix where his grabs are correctly blocked by incompatible states. Air up attack can no longer hit the same target multiple times. Air neutral attack's final hit no longer hits the same target multiple times as well, and sends fighters away horizontally and away from Iron Giant, while also increasing its knockback scaling to not link together so easily at higher percents. Ground up attack had a gray health change from 3 HP for 5 seconds to 2 HP for 3 seconds. Allies who consume scrap will overwrite any existing gray health they have from eating the scrap. Ground forward attack got a bug fix as well, fixing attack decay from not triggering on all parts of the forward attack combo. Ground down attack got a nerf for gray health as well, reduced from 10 HP for 10 seconds to 6 HP for 3 seconds, which is a pretty big change, goddamn. Jake got 2 nerfs. Air down attack removed an instant cancel out of the attack to prevent Skateboard Infinite. He also no longer will bounce off of allies too. Ground up attack has additional whiff recovery and slightly later charge cancel windows to make people have to commit to this move instead of keeping it safe by canceling it, while also being able to be punished a bit more for missing it now. By the way guys, we are sponsored by HelloFresh this month. Use my code in the description or pinned comments below to help get yourself some HelloFresh. And also support the channel out a lot. I appreciate you guys and want you all to get some food you can enjoy while also learning how to cook, a valuable skill set. LeBron James got some fixes and buffs all around. LeBron's air ground side special solo dunk no longer spawns a shockwave on the ground. The alley-oop version will spawn a shockwave and launches fighters into it, which will continue to apply the weaken debuff. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but that kind of sounds like a nerf to me. Ground air down special without the ball was tweaked to prevent ball spamming. Air side special branches earlier on hit and has a fix for hitbox hitting behind him too much. And that also sounds like a hitbox nerf to me. I don't know, not really a buff. Air neutral attack is cancelable earlier on hit to increase combo potential. The neutral attack with the ball received a fix for the neutral air branching into no ball neutral air. Ground side attack and ground down attack removed a bug that shared attack decay together. Ground side attack jabs can now connect more consistently. Ground neutral attack fixed the angle of the attack bug, and the basketball got a bug fix to correctly display team colors. The hot hands perk got a change now to showcase flames when allies catch the ball so they know when to throw an ignited ball. Great changes for LeBron all around. LeBron mains, how are we feeling about these? Shoutouts to Sputnik. Reindog got 2 buffs and a nerf. Air up special removed its hit pause on the ally that threw Reindog when Reindog connects in ball form. Air and ground special increased its cooldown size from 13 seconds to 14 seconds, which is a nerf. And air up attack had its hitbox size increased. Big dubs for Reindog. Shaggy side special got nerfs. It felt a little unpunishable, so there is a big whiff recovery on it. So now we can clap spammy Shaggies and they're forced to learn other moves. Raged air side special had its recovery frames increased by 2 frames, and better matches the grounded version, fixing an issue where Shaggy before could use it twice. Rage ground down special, Shaggy's shockwave, will launch fighters into the final hit that applies weakened debuff. Ground air and side special now have 4 additional frames of whiff recovery. Sorry Shaggy mains, you now have to use a different move. Steven Universe got a nerf and some fixes. Ground down special Watermelon Steven cooldown now starts when he is wrung out instead of it being on use previously. Also fixed the bug where he could spawn inside of ceilings and be stuck. Air neutral attack will no longer have an animation hitch, and Steven's voice lines will play properly now and his taunts have been fixed, so you can use his other taunt list. Superman got some whiff recovery nerfs. Basically, neutral attack, ground up attack, and ground down special all have additional whiff recovery, meaning he can't spam those moves without being punished. It's pretty interesting. I thought his grabs were going to be the ones getting whiff recovery, but it looks like Superman is still good and will be very fun to play. How are we feeling Superman mains? I'm not gonna lie, his air side beat does need some fixes, but that also could just be hitbox stuff because he is grabbing people by his cape. Taz got a lot of changes. This patch is the start to reworking Taz's tornado. They will continue to monitor it in case other changes are needed, and they'll apply it accordingly. Chicken debuff. Fixed the bug where transform fighters would receive buffs and they would not be displayed properly. Chicken duration is also down to 8 seconds from 10 seconds before, so a slight nerf. And the chicken size has been increased, which is easier for Taz to hit now. Air and ground down special adjusted the projectile movement duration of Taz's spit projectiles to be more forward and less of a lobbing arc, and the projectile that spit back at opponents will maintain its original speed. Air and ground neutral special got a buff, and if Taz eats a projectile that can't be spit back out, he will refresh the count of his Apple Core ability. Increased the size of hit collision for Taz eating projectiles on his neutral special, and it also made it possible to eat projectiles a few frames earlier. Taz deals 1 stack of weaken debuff every time you choose an enemy, and also fixed the buff that allowed for ground movement after eating the enemy. Big changes to Taz all around that might help those who felt that he was clipped a little bit too hard before. Air and ground up special got a nerf, its damage was reduced from 10 to 9, and base knockback was reduced as well from 1500 to 1350. It also fixed the bug where enemy fighters could become invulnerable to the fight cloud after dodging it. Air and ground side special now is a cooldown move. This is huge, guys. Tornado now has a 7-second cooldown, and while the cooldown is active, the side special is a weaker version of the Tornado. Full power Tornado has a 1.5 second duration and receives an additional second duration after passing through an ally. On cooldown, Tornado has a 0.25 second duration and does not gain additional duration by passing an ally. This is an interesting change to Taz. Now you have to be very aware of the situation before using it. Ground up attack now hits 2 times instead of 1. The early hit combos into the sandwich clap, and this could lead to some great combo setups for Taz. Taz mains, how are you guys feeling about these ones? I wonder how significant it'll be towards changing his kit. Tom and Jerry got a dynamite buff and now applies projectile perk effects where previously it did not. Air normal attacks got a fix where it prevented Tom from using normal attacks when his air special limit had been changed. I know Void is very happy about that when I've seen he got hit by that bug a couple times in the game. An air up special now fixed an issue where Jerry would continue to have active frames when falling from the rocket. Nothing too crazy for Tom that I was expecting. Velma's air side special had its move distance reduced. The distance that it traveled before kind of gave Velma an additional recovery, and that was not intended. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if they'll do this to Batman too, because if you look at Batman, his Batarang charge in the air allows him another recovery too when all his resources have been depleted. Air up special reduced its weaken stacks from 3 to 2 and will no longer chain into down air attacks as easily to prevent an easy application of damage. Ground side special reduced great health from 12 HP for 4 seconds to 6 HP for 3 seconds. That is a lot. Down air attack has more recovery frames on hit and whiff, and air sided attack added more whiff recovery too. Ground and air neutral attacks fixed an issue where word bubbles would go through BltzZ's tunnels and reduced its ammo count from 4 to 3 and ammo return from 11 to 10. Velma also got her weight reduced even more from 63 to 60. This is the second nerf to her weight, and now she's even less thick. And Knowledge is Power perk. Reduced gray health from 7 HP for 5 seconds to 3 HP for 3 seconds. Okay, Velma and Bugs previously were the top teams in 2v2. Now it feels like they made enough changes to sort of normalize their style of play. Velma mains, do you think these significantly change up her kit? Let me know in the comments below. And now for the moment Wonder Woman mains have been waiting for, myself included. Let the supremacy be known, it's time for Wonder Woman to eat. This is gonna hurt every patch since she is going to always be at the bottom of patch notes due to the alphabetical spelling. But Wonder Woman's ground and air neutral special, Lasso, now has a cooldown lowered from 13 seconds to 12 seconds. Not as drastic as I was thinking, because in the beta it was previously 8 seconds and then they raised it to 13. Now it's at 12. I was thinking it could be reduced to 11, which I think would be a good balance, but I'm not complaining about this. I use the Lasso a lot and I get a lot of kills off the edge with it. Ground side special, which is her most underused move, got a buff. Projectile shield comes out much earlier, allowing players to be able to react easier to incoming projectiles and negating them. Air up attack received a bug fix as well. The hurt box should now better match the animation. And the biggest change I did not see coming, Wonder Woman's weight has been increased from 65 to 76, a whole total units of 11, putting her now ahead of Shaggy and currently the 5th heaviest character in the game. I absolutely love this. Now the Last Stand perk might be a go-to selection for some Wonder Woman mains, since she will be living past 100 damage more often now. Even though previously she was able to, she can now maximize more damage with it for a longer time. I always felt like as a tank she didn't live as long as the others, and granted, I mean Superman and Iron Giant are the 2 heaviest, rightfully so, but now she's up there at a respectable weight, being in the top 5, which is amazing. The cat is probably wildin' right now. And finally, the Shield of Athena perk adjusted the scale of projectile shield for the perk to cover an edge where projectiles would pass over it during a dodge. I'm very excited for these Wonder Woman changes, guys. I was hoping the ground side special would have armor on startup, just like Tony mentioned before, but most likely due to the higher amounts of players using her now that Nakat and Void won Evo recently, they probably backpedaled on that and decided to just make it reflect projectiles a little bit earlier. Wonder Woman will now counter mages and Batman a lot more easier now, and it's pretty exciting. In addition to living longer and being able to use the lasso slightly more often too. Great changes, I absolutely love them. And now my Wonder Woman guide can commence. Guys, let me know how you all are feeling now about these changes. These are huge, and it's only going to get crazier as the weeks go on. If you didn't see a buff you want to hear, or a nerf, comment below what that is and what you want changed. Remember, hitbox overall changes are coming soon, as well as a projectile rework too. So in those patches, we can definitely see a massive change to all characters for better or worse. MultiVersus is going to be a much different game going forward, and I am very excited for it. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More MultiVersus news, guides, and tip videos are on the way, and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.